Hi again, everyone. This is Steve Pratt from HitItLonger.com, and today I'm taking a look at the swing of Jamie Sadlowski, two-time world long drive champion and one of the fastest swingers on the planet, having been recorded in the finals at well over 150 miles an hour of club head speed. The question is, could Jamie get faster? And I believe the answer is yes, if he were to apply a couple of simple Mike Austin principles. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw lines down from his hip bones down to the ground. And you can see here that his feet are much wider than the red lines. They're outside his hip bones, probably by 1.5 to 2 inches on either side. This is problematic biomechanically because when the heels get outside the hips, the wider your stance is, the more that your center of gravity or your navel area and your belt buckle will get stuck in the middle. You will not be able to make an effective weight shift. Instead, the reverse will happen. In a Mike Austin swing, we would like to see the navel or the center of gravity wind up away from the target and swing back towards the back foot. Instead, in a wide stance, you will see that the opposite happens, that the upper half of the spine, let's take the club back, you can see here that there is been only a slight move of the center of gravity over to the right foot. I'm going to draw that in blue from his belt buckle here straight down to the turf. There has been a slight move laterally of the center of mass, but it has not reached neither the red line or the right foot. Instead, what has happened, for him to make a bigger weight shift, he has had to sway the upper half of his spine. I'll draw that through this way. You can see that there has been a sway laterally of the head and upper spine in order to get weight established over onto the right foot. So this would be an opposite of a Mike Austin principle, where we would have a steadier head and a shift of the lower spine, which would be able to occur much easier with a slightly narrower stance. The red lines are going to be magic, as you'll see as we take him to the impact position. First, let's look at the transition and the weight shift going through. You can see that there is more rotation than there is weight shift. This would be tantamount to stepping towards first base to throw a baseball towards home. Doesn't produce a lot of power. Notice that he does get his belt buckle over to the front red line, but it is not quite over onto his left foot. So when he arrives at impact, I want you to see that he will not be on a 1-foot balance. He is still on a 2-foot balance. And this is very apparent because he's going to have a lot of weight pushing down into the ground with this foot at this point. And yet his left toe and his entire foot are coming up off the ground, so he does not have a solid brace on his left leg to hit against. He does not have counterfall in the direction of the target to provide a brace for him to whip the club and his arms through impact and hit the ball as hard as possible. What is amazing is, and this is probably due to his immense amount of athletic ability, is I want you to watch two things. His right foot will drag towards the red line. his left foot will actually pick up off the ground through impact and reestablish itself closer to the front red line. So when he comes out of impact, his feet will be in a very efficient position compared to where he started. Watch this. This is amazing. This is like magic. His right foot drags, toe drags about an inch. His left foot magically sucks back towards his navel underneath and plants itself perfectly on the red line. Now look at the position of his feet. He is now firmly planted with his belt buckle directly on top of his heel with a good brace finally, but the ball is already gone. So it's like he has adjusted in order to gain balance on the follow-through. He has had to put his feet at the exact proper distance. And now he will come up to the top of his swing fully balanced on a straight left leg. Let's look at that one more time. Since his feet are very wide here, much wider than the two red lines I drew representing where his hip bones are, he is unable to effectively shift his belt buckle or center of mass over to his left foot, where he would be in balance and where the left side, especially the leg, would serve as a brace. Instead, what happens is he has almost no brace to hit against as his foot is completely coming off the ground, and it's going to replant itself precisely underneath his hip bone so that he can step down on it and finish in a balanced position on the left leg. I think if Jamie could get faster, if he were to narrow his feet to the width that you actually see here, he would be able to make a much more efficient weight shift, get a much better brace at impact on his left leg, and he would be able to whip his wrists through at a faster speed. I also believe that this creates the chicken wing effect that he is known for at impact. I will draw that in yellow. This left arm, the humerus bone, goes out at this angle, while the forearm lines up beautifully with the shaft, about 20 degrees or 30 degrees bent at this point. This is also a leak in leverage. So he is losing some leverage by not swinging his spine like a pendulum, and he is losing some leverage by breaking the left arm, bending it at the elbow. He is not creating the longest speed lever possible. He is losing just a bit of leverage there. So those 2 points where he could apply Mike Austin principles, I believe that he could pick up some more miles per hour of club head speed and possibly dominate at the World Long Drive Finals once again. Okay, I welcome your comments. I hope I've made a couple of good points that make sense to you, but I would love to hear your feedback. So please subscribe and leave some comments below.